Hello and welcome to another AIC video. This is a little bit different than my normal content. We have no laptops in this video here. What we have is my Ender Creality 3 V2 Neo 3D printer. I've had this for right around 18 months. I bought it for Christmas of 2024 and it was great. Did a ton of printing until November, October, November of the next year. And it just went to crap. It quit printing properly. The settings kept getting screwed up. I reached out to Creality since it was still under warranty. They replaced both the screen and the system board because they just quit responding. And once those were replaced, it would now print, but it doesn't print well. All the prints come out; they're very brittle. They just don't run right. And I replaced the hot end. I replaced belts. I replaced the mat. I've thrown a ton of time and money at this thing, and so finally I've given up on it. And I have a new 3D printer that I bought, and let's go over to it. All right, so this is my new 3D printer. It's an Elegoo Centuri Carbon 2, and go over some of the reasons why I picked this one. And some of the other issues I was having with my Ender 3 that convinced me to buy at least this style of 3D printer. So my office that I'm in is a converted garage. So it is not sealed very well. It gets dusty in here very, very quickly. I dust in here frequently, and within days, everything's covered in a huge layer of dust again. It also is not climate controlled in here at all. And so printing when it was cold was very difficult. Printing when it's very hot required me to screw around with settings and stuff. And so I picked this particular one because it was one of the enclosed printers that had the features I wanted without any of the extra fluff. So, like, from what I can tell, this printer is very open source. They have all their code available on GitHub repo that you can go and download. You're not locked into their software, their platform, having to pay them a subscription fee. Some of the other printers are cloud only, where this one is by default, I believe, is on a network only. You can do cloud if you want to, but it is also possible to do it print over the network without having to go to a cloud-based setup. It also has a camera in there to monitor the print. So it has a lot of features I wanted, and I specifically did not get the multi-filament one. Part of me really, really wanted that, but I also see just how much waste is created when people are doing multicolored prints. And the only real benefit I saw for that was if you're running a print that you are close to the end of one filament and it can switch over to a new roll for you easily. But that wasn't enough, partially because I just don't have a ton of room. Like, this is the space I'm putting this one in. You can see my other one just right over there. And this counter space is not tall enough for the 3D printer to go on. My office is already very full because, again, it's like half the garage of like a one car wide garage, but only half of the depth of it. So I don't have a ton of room in here for much of anything, much less a 3D printer. So I wanted it to be as compact as possible. This also has a larger bed. So it's a 256 by 256 by 256 versus the 220. So that extra, 3 centimeters of printing space. There's a lot of printers out there, especially because of the bamboo printers, that they have that bigger printing bed. They are designed for bigger, they're designed for more. So as you can see, all I've done is unbox it. I haven't done any unpacking. I have the accessory box here. Let me get that open. See what accessories we have. So in the box we have a power cord. This is the cord for the feeder, I believe. Here's the screen. Get some filament, a thumb drive, a tube of some kind. That's grease. I'm not doing you a very good job of showing the box. Sorry. Uh, we have the spool holder and the feeder tube thing. We have the screen down here, the cable for the feeder, and a power cord. And in this bag, we have some grease, a USB thumb drive, which I appreciate because my other printer, I had to use micro SD card, and I went through a lot of them. And a lot of systems don't come with SD card readers anymore. So it's actually nice that it's a thumb drive instead, because I have a crap ton of those floating around that are good. And every laptop I have just about has a USB drive, or a Type A port, I should say. We got some spare filaments and a scraper blade and some screws. All right, let me go ahead and take all the tape off and everything and get it all plugged together and plugged in and go from there. All right, so we have it set up. We went through the initial setup. I'm have my dryer here running through. I'm hoping that this works because I'd like to be able to run the filament directly from my dryer into the printer, so that way I can have this. I can dry my filament and leave it in the box so it doesn't it doesn't absorb water. That's what I was trying to say. I live in Arizona. It's not super common that we have enough humidity that matters, but we are coming up on monsoon season, and so we are actually going to be getting a lot of humidity here. One thing I wanted to show is the flex plate or the print plate. It has a really strong magnet. So here is the one for my other printer. And you can see just how much bigger that print plate is. So pretty excited for some of the bigger prints that I wasn't able to do on my other system. Oh, that magnet is strong. I'm sorry, I'm worried about scratching things up. Just a second. Now at the back of the plate, it actually helps you locate the build plate, which is really nice. That's something that my old printer definitely did not do, is have any way to locate this on there. So unless you got it on pretty close to perfect, you'd have to take off and put back on a couple of times. It's not that big of an issue. It's just one of those things that's a nice to have in that it has those locator tabs back there. One thing I was not able to do is get it to link up to my to my system. So for whatever reason, it's not connecting. It sees the printer, but it tells me that my code is invalid. Even though I take a picture of it, it's case sensitive. I type it in correctly, it just won't sync. So I'm going to have to do some troubleshooting with that. This is really nice. It has some nice information on the screen here. Let me get it a little bit closer to the screen. All right, so on the home screen, we have information. The light's on, Wi-Fi is connected, the nozzle temperature, bed temperature, fan if it's on. We have our USB drive. I did go ahead and slice. This dragon here is one I've printed a million times, so I know what to expect out of it. I didn't want to do one of their prints for the first one just because I want to know what I'm dealing with here. We have some settings here. Loading filament in. I'd use that to go ahead and load the filament. And then LAN only was not enabled. I thought it came enabled, but it was not. And it doesn't matter if I have it LAN enabled or not. I cannot connect to this system. I did update the printer firmware and I updated the software on my computer, and I can't get them to connect. So if anybody's experienced that, let me know. We have some really nice settings here. We have some clog detection, filament sensor, so it has a filament sensor. So pause printing when it runs out. Also can alert you if it runs out. Network, we got our network settings. We have our device settings. And the camera, it can record while you're doing it. So let's go ahead and start this. We are on the A side, yep. Turn on the time-lapse photography. Print calibration, sure, why not? I'll go ahead and hit print. Just going to copy it to the local drive. And now it's going to start printing. So I will let it go a minute, and then we'll see what it looks like on the print bed. All right, so we're about a little over an hour and a half into this print, probably closer to an hour and 40 minutes. There's about under 2 hours left. This prints so much faster. Having the filament in my dryer over here running through to the feeder, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it is working and doesn't seem to be causing any issues with tension or with the spool rolling or anything like that. I would like to have it be lower, so I may try shifting this over and setting this on here. I don't know if there's enough room or not. The one problem with that then though is the controls are on the front of the machine, not the back. So for drying and stuff, that'll make it more difficult to use the dryer. Any thoughts or suggestions? I'd appreciate those for that. And I still haven't been able to get it to work to sync with my, or not sync, but connect with my um, computer, with the software on the computer. So that's something I'll have to follow up on. The slicing software seems to be very easy to use. I was able to adjust a couple of prints that I'm looking to do in the future. And yeah, things are looking good. So if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, leave those down below, and I will do my best to answer those. Obviously, I will need to spend a lot more time with the printer to have a real solid opinion on it and how it performs. So obviously, this is my first print, and it's not even done yet. So thank you for watching. I do have a goal to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you would like to help me in that, please go ahead and subscribe. Normally, I don't ask, but I would really like to hit that goal. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.